Okay guys, so this is 4th of March, Wednesday 2026. I'm gonna be recapping my NQ long which I took in the live stream. So why this and why not frame it early around 9:30 and what was the framework behind it. Many people had the doubt, so yeah, let's directly get onto it. Starting from the daily chart, I keep saying ES was the leader main asset today. Why? As NQ's framework was dependent on ES today because ES was the actual asset which actually tagged the relevant swing. NQ didn't. Friday 6th of Feb, ES tagged it. Compare NQ. Friday 6th of Feb, NQ didn't. The framework to frame NQ either towards here if shorts or away from here if longs, which was the case today. Longs away from it using SMT or shorts towards it using NQ as a lagging asset. Most cases ES would have been the asset which would have told us. That is somewhat I call asset A would be ES, asset B would be NQ. Asset A is the asset which actually tags that relevant swing, and then that asset tells us how to frame the asset which doesn't tag this, if to frame away from this or frame towards this. Basically telling us if this SMT should hold or if this is a fake or real SMT. ठीक है? Now how would we confirm it? Okay, simple thing. The asset which actually tagged this, if this actually reverses, then that means this SMT should hold it. If this should hold it, then we can consider that SMT in the asset B to hold. Okay, so that is only case when ES would confirm, okay, ES is going bullish from there. Then we can consider ES is reversing from there. If ES is reversing from there, then the asset which hasn't reached there, if one asset has done the work, only then we can consider the other asset does not need to do the same work. One asset has actually formed a reversal there, then we can consider this SMT and frame this away from there without this even getting tagged in this asset B, which would be NQ. But if this asset fails to reverse here, fails to show any signs of reversals from there, that means if the asset which actually tagged this isn't going away from there, then how can we use SMT to frame the asset which hasn't tagged this? SMT should only be used to see, okay, one asset has done the work, so its other friends doesn't need to do the work. Then that asset itself hasn't done the work, we wouldn't consider this SMT as well. Then we would frame this asset towards here as well if this doesn't do the work. If this does the work, then we can frame this away from here. Simple thing. So that's why leader or main asset which would confirm the narrative would be ES. So my idea was simple, to not do anything until ES confirms. I could frame NQ shorts, NQ longs, and I would prefer to frame ES longs. Okay? So but my idea was I wouldn't frame NQ longs until ES confirms it. Okay, let's get into it. Two good reversal framed off of previous day, and next day should form a continuation. Done है. Next day should form a continuation. Now one thing to notice, if this isn't supposed to be reversal from there, obviously not consolidation as well, but if this is supposed to be retracement, है ना, based off of the daily closure, ठीक है, if this daily OB you can say or opposing candle is supposed to hold, then the next day would do what? Open high and then a deep daily candle closure through this. That could happen, right? But when that could happen and where that would be fully invalidated to tell us, okay, bullish is holding as well, but at the same time a place where bearish, it could have formed bearish daily candle, open high low, from this daily opposing candle, viewing this as an expansion to retracement, where it would have been the last line of defense to form. And if it fails to do that at that place, then we are good to go. Then long individual framework plus invalidation of the bearish framework, good to go. ES fully bullish, then we are set to frame NQ bullish, or even ES if you want to, है ना, any would work. ठीक है, so that is a place where I can see it forming an open high. This high, see where it rests in the daily range. You can see around the equilibrium of previous daily candle, है ना. So yeah, it could support reject it lower, right, and form an जैसे next day open high, then low this area. So that means if price fails to form, if it wants to go bearish, if it fails to reject this, है ना, if it rejects it, then that would be a kind of invalidation to our long bias. But we are preferring longs, right? So we would want open low, and we would not want to see this getting rejected. We want to see this in being invalidated, and when this gets invalidated, the bearish thesis gets invalidated, previous day or these becomes a draw. ठीक है, simply bullish order flow in the play, and you are allowed to frame NQ longs thereafter. Clear idea? इसको मार्क तो कर दूँ. Clear. Spaced out relevant swing from another relevant swing. So yeah, had this expansion and this move higher been a retracement, then this could have been used as a retracement objective to again go lower, right? So I simply wanted to see this getting displaced through with the validation of 930 driver. Price tagged this. Okay, let me remove this. This is previous day's EQ. Okay, you can see price could form an open high from there, open high, then go lower. I wanna take as much probability into my side as possible. Wait, I wanna have as much probability to my side as possible. Now this ये 9 AM 10 हमने 10 से पहले ली थी. ओके, around 9 AM this is where I exactly started my, not exactly, a bit few minutes before, while this candle was still printing, है ना, and in my live stream I said that same thing as well. If ES wants, and if it wants to go lower, this is the moment it should go lower, and that is what exactly I do not want to see, that it should fail going lower from here, because if it does, then that is a proper supported high of the day, and yeah, could make it go lower, has formed high resistance above opposing ground prior to 930 driver. This 9 AM hourly candle is where 930 arrives. So yeah, 930 can directly go lower, but I wouldn't prefer to see that, because if bullish framework, I wouldn't want to see highs being rejected. I would want to see price hold somewhere here and then again go. That would invalidate that this is being rejected, because if this was supposed to get rejected, price should have immediately gone away from there, and this is the moment of time you go or switch to lower time frames. Till this moment of time you can see it going lower है ना, ठीक है. Can consider this from here, right, lower, and 930 sweeping, forming high of the day currently. Done. And if I show this on the low time frames to you, 930 sweeping, rejecting, and forming high of the day. See 930 opposing ground and going lower. This isn't what I wanted to see if I wanted to long, and so I wasn't wanting to long. If ES would have done something like this and closer through this, then I would have taken the same entry in NQ this time. NQ did close, NQ did form a sweep. NQ does this at 930. Two good individual framework, but NQ isn't the leader asset today. NQ is the asset B. So how do we frame asset B? According to the asset A, ES hasn't yet shown us signs to go bullish, neither signs to go bearish. Individual from framework of NQ too good, be it M3, M4. बस अब ये रुक जाएगा इसकी डैश की डैश. Okay, yes, this did form as well. M5 did form as well, but I completely rejected this in the lifetime. I simply said I wouldn't take it. If it goes, it goes. I wouldn't take it without the alignment of ES. Those are my rules. If that means to miss this move, I would miss it with no regret, because this isn't what my model says to frame. है ना? So this is simply not what I would frame. So this is simply not my move. I would frame only the moves which are mine. है ना? This is not what I would frame, and simply I didn't. Had someone been only looking at NQ, then this would have looked good for sure. But ES, being the asset A, hasn't shown signs of bullishness, instead rejecting, है ना? Instead forming open high, rejecting high is 930, forming high of the day, going lower instead, right? So I simply wanted ES to allow me to go higher, है ना? That means ES aligns to go higher, then I could frame NQ, I could frame ES as well. It didn't show me till here, so I said okay, I would wait till 9:45, 9:30 we could consider back inside, and 9:45 to do the actual move, else 10 AM does the move from here. ठीक है, वो कहाँ से Control Z. $9:45, $9:39. See, ES doesn't tell even once that it wants to go bullish, instead bearish, right? 9:30 sweeps and keeps going bearish. 9:45 is the next candle. Okay, at this moment of time I switched time frames. I wanted to see if ES would allow me to go bullish. This framework formed from 9:30. If this was to hold till there, and 9:30 reversal, if 9:45 wanted to continue going lower, right? This is where 9:45 comes. Open high. What is the best place to go lower? Either from there or either from there, right? Right? Or simply from this high. Okay, it does tag this, ठीक है? Or if you don't want to use this, it does tag this. So now if this is supposed to be in play, this framework from there to there, 9:30 reversal, 9:30 forms the reversal, and 9:45 continuation till there, then this should hold. Obviously I wanted to frame long, so I wouldn't frame bearish, but seeing bearish price action, I could hold myself doing longs, है ना? ठीक है? Now this should have held if it wanted to go lower, right? This should have held, but seeing this, that means this is not being held, and now instead this is 9:45 open low going higher, then rejecting a low going higher. So not, I would say 10 out of 10, but at least 9 or 8 out of 10 setup, because I had an expectation that the best setup would form there, right? Once ES goes and does this best setup, the 10 on 10 setup would form there, but it won't have that much time left. 9:30 has already spent too much time, and there were chances it may not give us time to even enter. Either would close directly here, and NQ would directly reach till previous day at the meantime. So I did took a shot there. Like if I risk suppose $10, I did risk $6, $7, $8 on that for a simple maths perspective, and that is the time I told that okay, now I could frame NQ. I told 2 minutes prior, I would say, like I was saying, okay, if we get this closure on ES and vice versa on NQ, then I would frame. Then one candle closed this, and I wanted, okay, I want to see one candle displays like this, and I would be okay framing NQ longs, because now ES, which is the leader asset, now that is aligning, right? Not just NQ's individual framework, but the asset which is the leader asset, that is now aligning. So now I can take MNQ पे दिखाता हूँ ना. Yes. So once this forms, but not only on NQ, I wanted to see this form on ES, because that was the leader asset. This confirms going bullish and rejects bearish, because this is where it should have gone lower if it wanted to. Then I took a short there, not 10 out of 10, but at least 8 on 10, with the possibility of that it may not give us chance after it tags this. So yeah, I took this here. After this closes, took this here, and as said, we didn't get much chance, just as I expected, directly went away. If you wanted to frame, it wouldn't have been possible to frame this, right? You would have kept waiting for this, and it would have directly boomed, and that is what I was expecting. That's why I took an early shot. But I can rate it 9 on 10 as well, but not like I can rate it 99 out of 100 as well, not 100. But there were few instances that led me into tweaking the process a bit. Practicality over mechanical things all the times. Sorry, not all the times. Okay? So that is the position. That was the position for today. And then you ended up going higher and higher because the leader asset aligned for it. And this was the position. And it kept going till there as well. बोल कौन है? मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, बोलना अभी अंदर नहीं आना. I got B. Why BE, brother? भाई मैंने लॉन्ग बोला था, क्या झूठ बोल दिया? कौन था? आदि भाई आप थे ना, लॉन्ग बोल रहा था. जैसे स्ट्रीम भी रिकॉर्डिंग पड़ी है मेरे पास, रमन भाई झूठ नहीं बोल सकते आप. आई हैव द recording of that live trading stream. That would be uploaded in 1-2 days. You got BE, but why BE? Actually give it the room to play. That is supposed to be the original invalidation. Give it room to play out, है ना? At least do not mess up with your stop loss placement unless price has moved at least 1.5 hour in your favor, right? You saw me moving my stops here, right? Because I had reached the 1.5 hour standard, right? Else my stops were placed there all the time. Then I trailed my stops there once this was formed, because this is where I would have actually wanted it to go from. 10-15 does this, and it kept going and going. And there was one more setup. If I wouldn't have taken NQ, then I would have took that. NQ I took prior to 10 AM around 9:53, right? That was YM, which I would have taken if I wouldn't have taken NQ. Same framework, daily, reversing from a relevant swing, right? And next day continuation. ठीक है, open low. It comes lower at 9:30. I wanted to see this getting rejected to frame continuation away from there till previous day. Clear relevant swing in the daily range. And so 9:30 retracement, 10 a.m. continuation, framing MMBM from there, price actually moving away from there, and 10 a.m. forms open low, enough range opposing candle, clear closer through. So yeah, this is what I would say 10 on 10 position. Had I not been already in on NQ loans, this is what I would have took 100%. Partials 70% off here, and then a runner till previous day. This previous day I hit. Okay. Okay, still not hit. Maybe trailing till there or break even. This is what? Nahi. This is 11 here. Yeah, trailing till there could be considered break even at least, or if wanted to be a bit aggressive, then there. Either break even, either there. And if the move should happen, it should happen from there, and then again previous GI. 70 80 should have been off there. So yeah, that would be done. I got optimization train after one. My, okay, you got 1.5 hour. अच्छा, आपका फिल मेरे से अच्छा था. अच्छा, मैंने अभी लॉन्ग शॉट को उल्टा बोल दिया. ठीक है, हो जाता है. लाइव में सही बोला था. 1.5 hour is a standard where you can consider a position a good position, worthy. You shouldn't be framing below 1.5 hour trades. Wouldn't make sense. Yeah, if your strategy is different, by my way, you shouldn't be framing trades below 1.5 hour, at least 1.5 hour. Any more doubts related to today's recap or my today's bias, or how did I frame XYZ blah blah 4 assets? Clear? Okay, so I would end the recording then. Have a good day.